Welcome into Texans Today, everybody. I am your host, Jeremy Chuggs, and we've got a pretty fun show on tap for you today. Our top Texans storylines. Are the Texans the best team in Houston at this moment? We'll break that down. Also, could the Texans be adding another cornerback? ESPN linked Houston to one of the top free agents available, and Bleacher Report said the Texans are one of 5 teams that should be sellers at the NFL trade deadline. I'll break down that crazy article and more on today's program, but fun debate we had in the office, and I want to see what y'all have to say. Please go down in the comment section and let me know, because I honestly didn't know how to answer this question. Finish the sentence. The next Houston team to win a championship will be blank. What team is it? Is it the Astros? Is it the Rockets? Is it the Texans? Dynamo? I don't know if we can really consider them, a top 4 team, but I'll throw them in there as well. Let me know. The next Houston team to win a championship will be blank. I didn't know how to answer this, so I'm going to leave it to y'all. Let me know down in the comment section which team and why you think that team might be the next team to win the chip. Now, if you're new to the program, this is how we kind of break down rumors and everything on this show. If I give something 0 heads, fake news, obviously not happening. If I give something 1 Toro head, small shred of truth, 2 Toro heads, think of it as like a 50-50 shot. 3 Toro heads, I think it's pretty likely. And if I give something 4 Toro heads, H-Town, hold it down. It is happening. So let's just get into our first story on today's program. The Texans. Are they the best team in Houston right now? I'm going to give this one 2 Toro heads, and I'm going to say it's about 50-50, because whenever you stack them up against the Rockets and the Astros, both those other teams have pretty good arguments to why they are the best city in best sports team in H-Town at this moment. Let's start with the Rockets. They have the second best odds to win the West after trading for this man right here, Kevin Durant. And this team photo is absolutely chills right here. You still have Alperen Şengün. You still have Amin Thompson, Jabari Smith Jr. You re-signed Steven Adams. You re-signed Fred VanVleet. I mean, this squad looks amazing going into next year. Not even mentioning, role players like a Reed Shepard, like a Tari Eason, like a Cam Whitmore. This team looks primed to make some noise in the NBA going into next season, especially when you add a guy like a Kevin Durant. And not to be outdone, the Houston Astros, even after getting, Kyle Tucker, trading him to the Chicago Cubs, Alex Bregman not re-signing him, he signs with the Boston Red Sox. The Astros, as of June 25th, have the 3rd best record in the MLB, and they're actually, as I'm filming this, currently playing the Philadelphia Phillies at this moment. So, I mean, the Astros, they have a good chance to make some noise this year as well when it comes down to September and October. And I thought this was a pretty good litmus, a pretty good tweet from my man Stressens. Garrett, shout out to you, always putting in that good work. Something that Pton Manning had to say on CJ Stroud at Fanatics Fest this past week. And I think it's good to put it in perspective on just how good this team has been and how good CJ Stroud has been throughout his first 2 seasons in the NFL. This is from Pton Manning. Somebody who's widely considered one of the best quarterbacks of all time. Texans fans, we know the pains of playing against Peyton Manning, especially. Remember, I was at that Sage Rosenfels game where Peyton Manning and the Colts came back on the Houston Texans. That helicopter by Sage Rosenfels, it was absolutely, it was heart-sickening. But this is what Manning had to say on Stroud in his first 2 years. He went to the playoffs in his second year. He was 22. Let's be careful saying it was a down year. I didn't win a playoff game till my 6th year. He's 2 for 2. 2 seasons, 2 playoff wins for CJ Stroud. And I'll just say this. The bottom line is, it's a great time to be a Houston sports fan. We need to enjoy this and show up for our hometown teams, because the Astros are surprising everybody. And like I said, 3rd best team in the MLB right now. The Rockets just traded for Kevin Durant, and they're primed to make some noise in the Western Conference. And then our Houston Texans, the back-to-back division champs in the AFC South. It is a great time to be a Houston sports fan, and I think we need to really take a step back, smell the roses, and realize how good we have it right now, because there's been times, the Astros are really good, but the Rockets and the Texans are down. The Texans are really good, but the Astros or the Rockets are down. all three of our major sports teams in this city look really good right now. So me as one, I'm happy. I'm happy to be a Houston sports fan, and I can't wait to see what all three of these teams can do. Let's get into the next story on today's show. The Texans. Are they going to look to add another cornerback? Maybe before training camp, maybe before the start of the season. I'm going to give this one also to Toro Heads. 50-50 shot. People are talking. And if you're wondering, who's the guy that the Texans were linked to by ESPN? It was cornerback Rasul Douglas. And if you're, somebody who's subscribed, somebody who's watched my shows the past month or two, I've mentioned Rasul Douglas as one of my top options for the Texans to sign in free agency, right? Still on the right side of 30, has bounced around from team to team. And I think as a third option would be a really, really good player for the Texans to go out and get. Now, yesterday, the Seattle Seahawks took another guy off the market in Shaquille Griffin. He signed with Seattle, the cornerback. He played with the Texans for a short stint, but somebody, another guy off the market in terms of a defensive back in Shaquille Griffin. So we all know Ronald Darby retired earlier this offseason, was slated to be the Texans cornerback 3 behind Kamari Lassiter and Derek Stingley. Could the Texans look to add another piece because Darby decided to retire? Now, Rasul Douglas last season, not his best year, a little bit of a down year with the Buffalo Bills, 58 tackles, 5 tackles for loss, 5 pass breakups, no interceptions. Coverage stats, not great, right? A quarterback rating when targeted of 124, 39 completions on 53 targets, 452 yards in total. But if you just go back one season, right, the 2023 year, where he played for Green Bay and Buffalo, 14 pass breakups and 5 interceptions. Dude was balling out. The year prior, 13 pass breakups, 4 interceptions. The year prior, 13 pass breakups, 5 interceptions. This dude can ball, and maybe he's not what he once was. Maybe he's not a top, can be your top corner, maybe even your second corner. But as your third guy, I think he would be a really good piece, a really good option for this Texans defense if they feel the need to do so. Because if we look at this Texans secondary, if we look at the guys that we have right now, obviously the starters are all, this might be the best starting secondary in the NFL. But if you look behind Derek Stingley and Kamari Lassiter, not a ton of depth that you feel comfortable in, right? And it really depends on how much you value rookie Jalen Smith, because selected in the 3rd round out of USC, surprised a lot of people. A lot of people were shocked that the Texans took him that early. But reports are that he looked really good during rookie minicamp, during OTA so far. And if they feel good in Jalen Smith, if they think that he is a diamond in the rough, somebody that they got in the draft that can really help this team moving forward, maybe you don't feel the need to go out and sign a guy like Rasul Douglas. But even still, if there's even a shadow of a doubt, even if you're like, I'm not sure, this team is ready to contend. So you got to get the good while the getting is good, right? This team, you have Stroud and Will Anderson on rookie deals. I would take advantage of it and sign a guy like Rasul Douglas to maybe a 1 or 2 year contract and try to, make the squad as best as they can going into the 2025 season. Now, I want to ask you folks at home, do the Texans need to sign another player? Because I'll do free agency rumors. I'll do some free agency rumblings from around the league. But the number one question I get asked is, Jeremy, do the Texans even need to sign anybody? Is our roster good as is? Do we need to add another piece to this team before the start of the season? I'm kind of indifferent on it. I wouldn't mind if they signed a good player like Rasul Douglas. But let me know down in the comment section what your thoughts are. And if the answer is yes, let me know what position you think the Texans need to go out and target in free agency. Now, before we get into the last story on today's show, our friends over at Fanatics got you covered for 4th of July. If you're looking for a Houston sports shirt, also repping our great country, US of A. Go to chatsports.com/HoustonUSA. All these shirts available right now. You have the polo with the Texans logo. They also have Astros shirts over there if you're looking for some Astros 4th of July shirts as well. They have Rocket shirts. All Houston sports USA themed right here. All you got to do, go to this link, chatsports.com/HoustonUSA. That link will be in the comment section and description of today's program. Like I said, use that link. That lets Fanatics know that we sent you over there, and you can get some pretty good deals on some cool USA Houston sports gear. Now, last story on today's show, the Texans. Could they be sellers whenever it comes to the NFL trade deadline, you probably know the answer to this. It's fake news. It is absolute blasphemy, and I almost laughed whenever one of my coworkers sent me this article by Bleacher Report because I don't know what the folks over there at BR are doing. I don't know if they just don't know what to talk about. I don't know if they're running out of ideas, but, I think it's pretty dumb, even the thought that the Texans are going to be sellers at the trade deadline. But this is what Bleacher Report had to say on why they think the Texans could be sellers at the deadline. Now at a crossroads following back-to-back divisional round exits, the Texans must get back on track to capitalize on the flexibility Stroud's cheap rookie deal still affords. With just $11.6 million in available finance, the Texans can't afford to squander their limited window to contend. While the Texans are still a strong bet to win their third consecutive AFC South title and could even make a good bit of noise in the playoffs if everything goes right this year, a poor start could rapidly lead to the team hosting a fire sale at the trade deadline. And just a simple problem with this. Here are the players that they mentioned in this article that the Texans could trade away, right? Danielle Hunter, Titus Howard, Dalton Schultz, Joe Mixon. Okay. Kind of get these two, right? A little bit. Why in the world would you trade Danielle Hunter or Titus Howard? Go look at their contracts. Go look right now. If the Texans were to trade them this year, I believe the dead cap for Danielle Hunter would be $28 million. And Titus Howard, not too far behind that. The Texans actually don't save any money by trading a guy like Titus Howard. And if they're doing bad this year, if they start off bad, I would guess that these two guys aren't having that great of a year if the Texans start off to a rocky start. So are you even going to get good trade compensation for those guys? Probably not. So it doesn't make sense. And the number one reason they said to do this was for financial gain. That's stupid. You have how much dead cap going into the next couple of years? Titus Howard in a contract that you already restructured. It's going to affect you years down the road with that dead cap. So it makes absolutely no sense from Bleacher Report why the Texans would be sellers at the trade deadline. And I can tell you this. You can tell Bleacher Report is struggling with content right now. They are just scraping the bottom of the barrel. They are absolutely in a tailspin on what to talk about. They have no clue. I mean, I guess they don't have enough Dallas Cowboys news and rumors to talk about, or they don't have enough lists to make that are totally phony. Because talking about this team being sellers is actually laughable at this point of the offseason with, as they mentioned, the Texans being back-to-back AFC South champs. Nobody really looking like they're going to contend that much with the Houston Texans. They're still the clear favorite to win the AFC South. And even if the Texans near the trade deadline maybe aren't doing as well as they would have hoped, I don't think it makes any sense for them to trade away those guys at that point in the season. I think it's a dumb article, and I think it makes no sense. They didn't do any research, obviously. And like I said, they're probably on their vacation breaks. They're probably don't know what to talk about, scraping the bottom of the barrel. Bleacher Report, do a little better. Just do a little better. That's all I'm asking. Now, if you made it to the end of the video and are subscribed, make sure you go down and spam those H's down in the comments section because you're an absolute real one. I appreciate you. If you made it to the end of the video and aren't subbed, well, let's change that. Go down and hit that subscribe button. It's 100% free all year long. All you got to do is go down and sub. Like I said, it's all free. And my promise to you is this. Give me 1 week. Hit that subscribe button. If you don't like my content, all good. You can unsubscribe. No skin off my back. But let me prove to you why this is the #1 Texans channel here on YouTube.